So it turns out I didn't actually want anyone to listen to my podcast or to see any of my socials. When the views went up, I just vanished. Hey, and welcome back to These Boots Are Made for Healing with me, Leanne. And for the past 2 weeks, I've pretty much disappeared online. And if you noticed, well, thank you so much for noticing. It actually really does mean more to me than you know. But I started getting some really lovely comments of support. The views started increasing. My YouTube channel got over 2,000 views at one point, and it just freaked me out, which is ironic, I know, because if you've been listening, that's exactly what my previous episodes have been all about. People started paying attention, like actually paying attention. They were thanking me for inspiring them to take action in their own lives, which, may I add, is the exact reason I started this podcast. I wanted to share my story to inspire others. Um, but I never actually expected it to happen. And so instead of feeling good about it, I just completely froze. My brain just went straight back to its old script of who the do you think you are giving out advice? So I had to sit with that for a minute. Well, for 2 weeks apparently. Um, and so that's exactly what I want to talk about today. Good old imposter syndrome, that inner voice that shows up just when things are starting to go really, really well. The one that had me, somebody who's genuinely done the work, questioning everything again because I thought I'd sorted it. Turns out not quite. But Leanne, isn't the point of marketing to get attention? Well, yeah, of course. I understand that. But I never actually thought anyone would pay attention. And to be receiving lovely, lovely messages saying that I've made an impact on their life, it just completely freaked me out. So, over the past 3 years, I've done a lot of work on my confidence. Um, in the past year, in fact, and I've done a lot of work on my confidence and imposter syndrome, especially. And I know it's working. I've started this podcast. I've given 2 talks so far about what I do as an inner freedom coach, with a third lined up soon. I'm attending lots of online networking events. I've started a wonderful Facebook community that's growing every day. Um, and I'm planning to run bi weekly free workshops via Facebook to help people step out of imposter syndrome. So I know it's working, but I think it worked a little too well because I went from going from no way to what's next literally overnight. And that's how powerful this work is. And to be honest, I just completely scared myself a little, I think. So when I heard that familiar inner voice going, "Who do you think you are?" I listened to what she had to say. I told her to shush. I gave myself a few days of kindness and I jumped straight back on the horse. So, the textbook definition of imposter syndrome is actually quite telling. So, it's basically a persistent internal experience of self doubt where high achieving individuals feel undeserving of their success and fear being exposed as a fake. And there it was, light bulb moment. So, I'm going to be honest with you, I've been faking it this whole time. um, so I've been asking ChatGPT to help me with my content, with my socials, as I was worried that I'd have nothing interesting to say. So I asked it to elaborate on my story, make it more engaging, more insta worthy. And if I'm honest, reading it back, I did feel like a fake. I felt like a fraud, like I was leading you all on. So when the lovely messages of encouragement started coming in, I just felt awful. I felt like I was lying to you, like it wasn't actually me you were connecting with. But it was me. Belief coding literally has changed my life. I've done the inner work. That part is completely true. I may have used a few filler words here and there with the help of AI, but the story was always mine. It has always been mine. So here I am. No AI in sight, just you, me, and probably a lot of editing happening in the background later. But it just feels right. And for me, that is where I've grown in confidence. That is the shift from imposter to empowered. So, what was going on underneath then? So, imposter syndrome isn't actually a confidence problem, it's more of a safety problem. It wasn't actually my fear of being outed as a fraud. It was my body saying, I'm completely overwhelmed. I've taken on too much. The imposter syndrome was the message. I just needed to sit down and listen to what it was saying to me. So I reevaluated. The vision remains the same. I just needed to have more faith in myself and trust that I was capable of pulling it off. And I am getting better at noticing that now. And that is growth in itself. Instead of just giving up, I asked myself why. And that's where journaling can really help. If you're not already, I do suggest you keep one. So start journaling. I do try to journal daily, but it doesn't always happen. And I've made peace with that now. I used to get so annoyed with myself that if I'd forget a day or two. But there is literally no right or wrong way of doing it. Some days it's a paragraph, some days it's barely even a sentence, and other days it could be pages and pages long, but all of it counts. And it's really helpful to look back on how far you've come, as well as helping you to look forward. So I want you to hear this. If you've gone quiet lately, either in your business, your life, anywhere, I just want you to know that that freeze is information. It's not failure. Ask yourself why. Where is that feeling coming from? What is it trying to tell you? And if you've ever thought, oh, I thought I'd sorted all this by now, same. We are in this together. So next week, I want to talk about the nervous system and why no matter how hard you try, if your body just doesn't feel safe, it simply won't let you move forward. And so that one's going to be a good one. Thank you and thank you. And I just wanted to say, actually, this podcast is for you as much as it is for me. So please do get in touch. I honestly do read every single comment, hence the little freak out last week. So if there is something that you'd like me to cover in a future episode, please do let me know. I'll include the link in the show notes to a little form where I'd love your questions. I'd love any suggestions, anything really that you'd like me to cover. And also, I just want to say as well, I've got a very special guest coming up at the end of the month. So the incredible Phoenix Healing will be joining me to talk about the benefits of Reiki. So do make sure you tune in for that one. And again, thank you so much for being here. Please do subscribe, share if this resonated. You never know who else might need to hear it. So thank you for listening. It really does mean so much to me.